Released in 1983 by Activision for the Atari 2600, Enduro is an exciting and challenging racing game that remains a standout title on the classic console. Though the Atari 2600's hardware limitations could often result in simple gameplay and graphics, Enduro managed to push those boundaries, delivering a surprisingly immersive and fast-paced experience for racing fans of the era. Enduro puts players behind the wheel of a race car, competing in a series of increasingly difficult road races. The goal is to race against a field of competitors while avoiding obstacles and maintaining a consistent speed. The unique twist is the game's day-night cycle, which brings an extra layer of challenge as you race from day to night. The game also features a limited number of cars on the track, making maneuvering through other races a key element of strategy. The game is divided into 24-hour cycles, where players must finish a set number of laps before the time runs out, all while dealing with changes in weather conditions and visibility due to the changing light. As you progress, the game becomes progressively more difficult with faster opponents and less time to complete each race. For an Atari 2600 title, the graphics are relatively impressive. The car designs are simple but effective, and the road is represented with varying lines that suggest turns and obstacles. The day-to-night cycle adds an impressive sense of dynamism with the transition from bright daylight to nighttime, requiring the player to adjust their strategy. The soundtrack and sound effects are minimalistic, in keeping with the hardware capabilities of the Atari 2600. However, the engine sound and other environmental noises like car honking or tire screeches create a solid sense of immersion despite the limitations. Enduro is notoriously challenging. The game ramps up in difficulty with every passing race, making it increasingly hard to keep up with the other cars. The biggest hurdle comes from the limited visibility at night and the increasing speed of competitors. Moreover, the racing mechanics and tight controls add to the feeling of tension as players struggle to maintain control. There's a constant sense of urgency as players race to complete laps before time runs out, with the game only growing harder as you progress. The goal of finishing first is constant, but there's no true end to the game, creating a high score chasing incentive, which makes Enduro incredibly addictive. Although Enduro didn't achieve the same fame as other Atari 2600 classics like Pitfall or Space Invaders, it remains a well-regarded title for fans of early racing games. It offered an experience that balanced fast action with a growing sense of tension as players raced through its ever-changing cycles. The game's use of night and day cycles, in particular, was innovative for the time and set the stage for more immersive racing experiences in future console generations. Enduro for the Atari 2600 is a challenging and thrilling racing game that packs plenty of action into its relatively simple setup. While the graphics may seem primitive by today's standards, its gameplay and innovative mechanics for the time remain engaging, making it a must-play for anyone interested in retro gaming or classic racing games. Despite its difficulty and lack of an actual end, Enduro offers an addictive and rewarding experience that showcases the power of simplicity and skill-based challenges in early video games.